That's big.
Yeah.
Because that's one of my big conversations that I have with people is that they don't stick to anything long enough. You've got to commit and stick to it long enough for you to be able to say yes or no, right? There's sometimes that it's a no. But if you haven't, and that's usually what the problem is, people haven't committed to it long enough to find out if it's truly a no. They just give up when it's hard. So, very cool.
Yeah.
I'm going to stay off my soapbox. Let's see, the last thing I wanted to ask you about was the conversation around the best way to get in front of other people. So, you know, at this point, let's assume they've been working on, you know, their core values and what it is that they're offering, and they're really in this conversation of personal brand. And personal brand is great, but if you don't go out and share it with the world, it's useless, correct? So talk a little bit about what you think they should be doing and how to get out there and all that good stuff.
Okay, yes, this is a common situation. Personal branding is the first step, but, yeah, absolutely doesn't mean anything unless you get it out there. So I'm a big believer in face-to-face networking.
Mm-hmm.
I think you have to get out there somehow in front of people. But then, you know, there's also online marketing, which I think is a little bit harder to break into because it's harder to build it takes longer to build a know, like, and trust factor.
Yeah.
So
I always say that face-to-face is for immediate result and online is for longevity in your business.
yeah.
So you want to build that online community, but it does take time. And relationship through an online community also takes time. And however, doing it, you know, going out and doing face-to-face networking and all of that to get immediate cash in the doors is one aspect. And at the same time, you want to be building that online community because in the long run, it pays off. Because that's exactly what happened for me. It accidentally happened for me, but it is exactly what happened. So, yeah, I know it works because I accidentally did it. So I would love to say I was brilliant enough to foresee that. That was not at all.
Well, good for you. I built Big Eye Media, I built on face-to-face networking. I mean, in 2006, not too many people were doing online marketing. I mean, you know, certain ones were, but not the way we do it nowadays. So when I switched over, that was kind of a scary thing for me, too, to really put myself out there to a large group of people who I didn't know. But I see that a lot of entrepreneurs, if they're not out there, even face-to-face networking is scary for them.
Yeah.
But when they start to work on their personal brand, it becomes less scary because they have, like you mentioned, conviction. They have conviction, they have confidence, and they have clarity in their messaging. And, you know, they can stand up to the big guys who have been doing it for years and years if they're new. So, so face-to-face, online, and then, of course, there are other ways. Speaking is big now. Writing a book, publishing.
Absolutely.
Yeah, blogging.
Very cool. Thank you, Carol Ann. Thank you so much. We're getting ready to go to a break again, and I appreciate you sticking around, and this has been a very fun conversation. I believe wholeheartedly in everything that you're up to, so
thank you.
You're so welcome. So, guys, you need to go check out Carol Ann's website at thesizzlesystem.com. And if you were with us before the last break, you know that she talked about she's got a special going on this summer, and you can find out more at personalbranding.thesizzlesystem.com/summer school. So be sure and check that out. Thanks again, Carol Ann.
Thank you, Michelle.
You're so very welcome. All right, guys, we're going to take a short break, and then we will be back.
Did you know that an estimated 52 million Americans listened to Internet radio in the last month? Or that weekly Internet radio audience has increased 60% over the last year? And that more than 8 in 10 people are online from any location? Tough Talk Radio Network is a company dedicated to providing a platform that allows opportunities for guests, hosts, and sponsors to market themselves to the Internet radio medium where they can be heard by millions. To find out how Tough Talk Radio Network can help you, go to toughtalkradionetwork.com.
Listen to The Legal Eagle and The Coach each Wednesday from noon to 1 p.m. on Tough Talk Radio Network. Leading local and national experts in business will share their keys to success so that our listening audience can be educated and entertained along the way to becoming all they can be. So whether you're new to business or highly experienced, The Legal Eagle and The Coach with hosts David Alterburn and Brian Kaiser is a great radio program for you. For more information, go to legaleagleandthecoachradio.com.
Attention entrepreneurs, it's time to get real. Real about who you are, where you want to be, and what you're willing to do to get there. To make the leap from just getting by to making real money and making a real difference in this world takes a plan and certain skills. If you are serious about building a business that makes a difference in this world, join Michele Scism at her Legacy Live event in Houston, Texas, September 10th through the 12th. Learn more at legacyliveevent.com. We will see you there.
And we are back. I wanted to thank Carol Ann again for stepping in and playing two guests for us today and being with us in both segments. Really appreciate that. And some real great conversation around this whole idea of personal branding and putting yourself out there. And I want, a lot of entrepreneurs like to hide behind the online marketing, hide behind their computer. They're doers. They like to take action and get things done. And, I appreciate all of those things, but it is extremely important if you want to build a business that is something that you can make bigger than just yourself, right? You want to create a legacy. You want to build something that's going to take care of your family, take care of your community, whatever that looks like for you. It takes you doing the scary things, right? Being willing to do those things that others aren't willing to do, to have what you want to have. And that means that you got to be willing to put yourself out there. Remember what she said, that people want to buy from people. And so even if you are someone who creates apps, right, for a living or whatever that might be, still, if I want to have an app created, I'm not just looking for an app company. I'm looking for a human being who's going to create that app for me, that I can get a feel that they know and understand what it is that I want, right? People still want to buy from people. So personal branding is extremely, extremely important. And it all plays into the conversation of sales, because when we are clear on our personal branding, we can get more clear on the sales conversation. So many of the things she was talking about actually plays into the 10 responsibilities that we talked about in the opening of the show, 10 responsibilities of the salesperson. And it plays into the conversations around, how much what you're doing is worth and what it can be sold for and what you can ask for it, the confidence level that you have, right? The commitment level that you have. All of those conversations come together. I wanted to remind you that I am doing a free training on Friday. You can watch it on your computer from wherever you are. It's going to be Friday afternoon starting at noon Central, 1 Eastern. I guess that would be 10 a.m. Pacific for all my lovely Pacific and 11 a.m. Mountain for all my people in the mountain area. And you can go to decisiveminds.com/live stream. And we're going to work on getting you to the point where you're closing more sales. We need to talk about your conversion. I need to give you a reality check, people, truly. Some of you are out there thinking, it doesn't work. It's not working for me. And in reality, it might actually be working, just not at the level you want it to. And that's probably because you're not holding enough conversations. You're not making enough offers, right? And, I've had, my clients are just like rocking it because they got really clear on what their expectations are for each different point of conversion in their business. So what should be happening when somebody shows up to your website? What should you be expecting there? What should be happening if you have a webinar to sell a new product? You know, my client, Sandy Lawrence from Perspective Public Relations, who fills in for me as a host on this show sometimes. She's an awesome woman, and she did a webinar last month to put people into a program that she wanted to launch. And she just knocked it out of the park because we worked on, number one, her understanding how many people she had to get onto the webinar. What was her expectation of conversion from a webinar? And then we worked on the wording, the conversation to have with people that moves them to a point of emotion, because all sales are emotional. And so when we did that, she actually put in more people in the program than we were expecting from that webinar. And it was so cute. She called me as soon as the webinar was over and to tell me all about it. She was so excited because before she even finished the webinar, her email was dinging with all the sales coming in. And I'm going to tell you, that is an exciting moment. It's an exciting moment for me as a coach, and it's an exciting moment for her to see that what she wants to put out into the world, people really want. And they really want it because we perfected the conversation she was having. We studied her clientele, right? What do we talk about in the 10? You have to know the people. You have to know how they think and what they're looking for and all of those things. And so by fixing that, we were able to help her to do something she had never done before. She had done she had attempted to do some webinars before, never sold from them. And this is a big thing, a really big thing for her to do. I'm watching my other clients do the same thing. Some of them, it is them standing on stage and doing multiple six figures from the stage. Some of them, one of my clients is Valerie Hubbard, and Valerie is she teaches actors how to build their acting business. And we worked on, she does a one day every year. We worked on her one day last year before she did it. Before that, she had sold $4,000 at her one day. She did $40,000 last year. And just simply from those couple of things. Number one, getting clear on who was going to be in her audience. Number two, understanding exactly what to say to move them to action and being real clear on what she was selling. And so remember, whenever I was giving you the top 10 earlier, and number 10 was that you must understand that you can't help them without them hiring you. So it's not about manipulation. It's about motivation. That's a really big thing, right? So we need to have this sales conversation for you. I want you to be very clear on what you're selling, why you're selling it, what's going on, why it's not working, when does it work, right? Because some of you have some expectations for things that aren't even possible. It's that whole I can do, 36 hours worth of work in 10 hours, not going to happen, right? So, all righty, so join us, decisiveminds.com/live stream. I think since we started the show, we've had about 15 people opt in for that show already, so very cool. And we will be back here next Monday with 2 brand new guests. I'll get to share with you all about the live stream because it will just have happened, and we'll start talking about what's coming up after that. My event's coming up in September, legacyliveevent.com. Go check it out and join me in Houston for that one. All right, guys, have a fantastic week. I will talk to you again soon. This is Michele Scism saying be decisive. Bye-bye.
You have been listening to Take Action and Get Profits with Michele Scism, brought to you by the Tough Talk Radio Network. A special thanks to all of our sponsors. If you'd like to be a sponsor or a guest, please go to toughtalkradionetwork.com.